Hello, hello, hello. And thank you guys for Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Cherrell. I'm the host of Let's Talk, and this ain't a podcast. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this episode, like you do every episode, because I'm super grateful for you guys. You guys know the routine. Before we start any show off, I love to find out what you guys are grateful for. I'm going to kick it off. Something I am grateful for. It's small, but this shirt didn't wrinkle that much. Like, I know it's like I could have found something else I'm grateful for, but I was really trying to iron things out. And this shirt has been balled up in my closet for like a couple days since I got it, actually. And it wasn't that wrinkled. I just went through a couple swipes and I was good. So that's what I'm grateful for. I just ask that you guys drop something that you are grateful for in the comment section. Let's put this up here for everyone else. Wow, I really almost spelled grateful wrong. It's crazy. Wow. Seriously, guys. Okay. So I got that up there. Make sure you guys go ahead and drop in the comment section something you're grateful for. I cannot wait to talk with you guys today. I have a yoga instructor that will be joining us really shortly. You guys are going to hear a lot about yoga, kiddie yoga, prenatal yoga, which is really good. And then you might see me do some like yoga live. I don't know. I think I do yoga a little bit sometimes in the house. I be stretching, but we don't know. But without further ado, let's get our guest join in with us here, guys. Let's see. So excited. Hello. Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. Okay, Kendra. So it's so good to have you this episode. But as you know, the routine when we kick off the episode is you have to tell us something you're grateful for.
Yes. I always say the same thing, so I'm just going to stick with my same thing. I'm always grateful for my family, my little family that I have. During the quarantine, we got to stay under one roof. Yeah. You would think that it would be hard, but it's not. Like, we just mesh really well together and we do good together.
That's good.
So I'm just very happy. Very happy for my little family and grateful for them.
Some people don't like their family. I don't know if I could live with my siblings under a roof during quarantine. I don't know. No, we probably wouldn't. One of us would have had to have left. It wouldn't be me, though. Mm-hmm. It'd have to be one of them. I wouldn't be the problem.
That's lit.
Okay, so let's jump right into it, Kendra. You are a yoga instructor, and you also teach prenatal yoga, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit about how you got started with yoga.
Sure. So I started doing yoga after I graduated from college. I came home and I was like looking for a workout routine, something to do to get back in shape. So I tried out a bunch of different studios. Nothing really clicked for a while because, as you know, yoga is like, well, I don't know if you know this, but if you go to a yoga studio, a lot of the people there they don't look like us. So, it's hard to find a place that has, a lot of Black people or people of color teaching. So it took me a while to actually find a place that I really liked, which I really liked. It used to be called West End Yoga in Canton.
Okay.
But now it's called Starseed Yoga, I believe. So I started going to yoga there, and then I just got like really inspired. I love the way yoga made me feel. I always felt like it's like a yoga high, so you just feel really relaxed after class, and you're like really happy about life, and it was just a really great feeling I got. Yeah, it's a really great feeling. Yeah, it's great. Yoga high is great.
Okay.
So I got that like all the time, and I was like, you know what? I'm not really I didn't really want to teach because I'm a shy person. So I didn't really see myself as teaching just yet, but I was like, I really like this feeling. It would be cool to just learn more about yoga.
Right.
So that's why I did the program initially. And then even up until so you have to do a demo in your training program. And so like right after my demo got done, I was like, oh, I think I can teach yoga. Like it just clicked in my head. Like I feel like I can teach it. But up until that point, I did not want to teach it. I just was trying to learn more about yoga. I was learning about myself because in almost every yoga program I've heard of, and the program that I've been in, you have to kind of do like a self-study too.
Oh, that's nice.
So, yeah, it's really nice. So you have to address your own issues pretty much.
I don't know about that no more. I'm joking.
Yeah, it's not easy.
What?
For sure. But
let's talk about that.
Worth it.
Let's talk. What is the program like to become a yoga instructor? You say you have to do a demo, and you also have to do like inner self part as well. So what is that like?
So it depends on the program.
Okay.
So some programs require you to do different things like, meditate a certain amount of times throughout the week or every day. Journal is part of self-study too. I'm trying to think what else I had to do. I remember doing journaling. And you have to like practice, a certain amount of times during the week. And they really promote like daily practice, which is hard to fit in your schedule, but it's doable.
I did not know yoga was that, and I didn't know you would have to go through like a self-study. I didn't know that. They're not playing. They're not playing when you out here teaching people.
Because you can't go out and teach people about like yoga if you haven't like addressed your own stuff.
Right. I like that. I don't know if I really wish that was like something that was like offered outside of yoga. I would really like to take that. I like that. So you become a yoga instructor, and then some years later, you have a baby, and you had a son. 8 months ago?
He's 7.5 months. Yeah, almost 8 months.
And so you also teach prenatal yoga. So what was? Let's see. You did yoga throughout your pregnancy. What was that like? Because you never experienced pregnancy before, but you've done yoga. So what was that like kind of mixing the two? And did you find it maybe a little more difficult to do yoga while you were pregnant?
So I actually was doing yoga. I went to prenatal classes from like week 16, so around the second trimester up until the week I gave birth, which was 39 weeks. I did yoga every week. That was really hard to do because, when you're pregnant, you don't feel like doing nothing sometimes. So that was really hard to do. But I did yoga every week. And then I was also teaching kids yoga at Time Gym in Novi.
Okay.
So that part was getting hard because, I got this big old belly. I can't really bend down or move really fast like I need to in kids yoga. So that was a little bit difficult. But I had really great kids that were like older, so they would like demo the poses for me, and they were, really happy to help. So that's how I taught for so long. But just doing yoga every week. Prenatal yoga, it was kind of hard to find the place actually, which I was like kind of disappointed in. It took me a while to find it, but I went to Sweet Mama Yoga in Livonia.
Okay.
And the instructor there, she's like really great. She's been teaching yoga for a long time. She has a lot of knowledge and things like that, so I was just like drawn to her. So I started going to her, and there were some people of color there too, which was nice.
Right.
But I think, seeing our people there, and then just having a place where people are also going through the same thing that you're going through is really helpful, especially during pregnancy, because you've been pregnant too. Like, we just have so many worries during pregnancy.
You do.
And then Black woman too, you're like, oh my God, your anxiety is higher, right?
Yep, it is.
So just going to that class every week was kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of like a safe space to go to. And it was nice to feel, you know, it was nice to have something to look forward to every week, because I was working, you know, just living the hustle and bustle life. So it was nice to have that space to go to, have be around women who were going through the same thing that I was going through.
Right.
It was just a really nice space to be in. And so I was inspired by that. And, you know, I thought to myself, you know, Black women really need prenatal yoga, and we especially need prenatal yoga in IPSY. So I went up to my instructor when I was like 8 months pregnant, and I'm like, hey, I really want to take your teacher training. And she's looking at me like, oh, you about to have a baby. Like, no, you should not be thinking about a teacher training. So, yeah, I signed up for it and I did it. My son was like 2 months, and then I started the teacher training and completed it. And now I teach prenatal yoga with the studio called Zion Well. Okay. They're in IPSY. So I do online classes, of course, because of, you know, coronavirus. But yeah, so that's how I got to be prenatal yoga instructor.
So let's talk about, what is the difference between I feel like maybe the poses may be different or it may not be as long, but what's really the difference between prenatal yoga and regular yoga?
So there's so many different types of yoga, for one. But in prenatal yoga, you're not really supposed to do a whole lot of like twisting from the core, because obviously you have a belly there and baby's there, so you don't want to do anything to interfere with that. The practice is way less intense, obviously, because pregnant women are always hot. Right. So we don't need to move around, you know, a whole lot or fast or whatever. And I'm trying to think what else. So that's pretty much it. And then also the breathing, like there's different breathing techniques that you do in yoga. Normally you do like a ujjayi breath, where you have like this breathing through the nose, where you breathe like to the back of the throat and you make a noise when it comes out. And you don't do that in pregnancy because you're already creating so much heat in your body. Right. So there's no need to do that when you're pregnant.
What? Okay, so I know that they tell you at a certain point they don't want you reaching above your head when you're pregnant, because I guess like the umbilical cord or something can choke the baby. Do you guys not practice that in prenatal care? In prenatal yoga?
I think that refers to if you're like doing a job and you repeatedly have to put your hands over your head. Okay. I think that's what they're referring to, but you can still do it in prenatal yoga. Okay. As long as you're not doing that every day. Right. So
makes sense. Yeah. Okay. You also taught Kiddie Yoga. So you have a son. Will you introduce yoga to your son?
Of course. Yes. When he gets old enough to, you know, start walking and moving around.
Really?
Yeah.
So what do you think is like how early can you teach a kid to start doing yoga?
So in my experience, I've only taught at the gym, I think they were 3 years old, like 11. So yeah, you can start as early as 3, but I would start my son off earlier, because, you know, kids, they just mimic what adults are doing. So if they see us doing yoga, they're going to try to do it. So they might not know what they're doing, but they can start. Exactly.
Okay. And so then I have another question. So the Kiddie Yoga, you said you start your son off early. What do you think is the difference between, like, are children more calm if they do yoga? Do you see like children that don't do yoga versus the kids that do yoga, or how often do you see them to try to compare the difference in their behavior and their attitudes?
I would say, so just working in a Detroit public school, I worked in a few of them when I used to do kids yoga prior to the gym. Mm-hmm. So you could tell the different classrooms that, you know, participate in the yoga program and the ones that didn't. Just the kids that came to our classes, they were just like more calm, more aware of like, you know, their feelings. They have more confidence.
Oh,
Um, yeah, self-esteem probably higher, things like that. They were just more like outgoing. And even if, or even like seeing like because it's like a 12-week program.
right.
So there were like, you know, a few shy kids or whatever. So we would always call on them to just like kind of decrease their anxiety type of thing. And then by the end of the program, they would be just, you know, like raising their hand on their own. And, you know, it just
Wow.
creates, you know, more confidence and things like that. So
That's amazing.
I think it's really beneficial for kids.
I could,
And even there's two schools in Baltimore. One is a high school. They started this program last year, and then another is an elementary school where they have, instead of having a detention room, they have a meditation room.
I saw that.
So, yeah,
I saw that.
so that's like really awesome, and that needs to obviously be expanded everywhere in every
Yeah.
school because kids don't need to feel like they don't need to be punished for their behavior because you don't know what's going on at home
Exactly.
or you know what's going on in their head or anything like that. They might have, you know, other issues to deal with. So I think yoga promotes kids and adults to deal with their feelings and their thoughts and things like that, and
I
to
like
really like sit with themselves,
I
which
like
is important to do. So
I'm glad you mentioned that because I did see where they introduced meditation into the schools and they saw a decrease in suspensions. They saw a decrease in fights, and I thought and I like that you said that it forces them to sit with themselves because a lot of times kids aren't able to critical think, so they may not understand the long term consequences of their actions. And if you give them
right.
that time to actually sit and try to figure out what their own problem is, you might unlock a world full of doors that they can better manage their emotions. So I really like that. I didn't, I never, until I posed the question on our story today, I never considered introducing my son to yoga. But I know that when I get too scatterbrained, I personally go meditate or I stretch and relax. So
Mhm.
now I think that that's something that I really do want to actually introduce to my son. I really like that. I
Oh
like
yeah.
that. I like that. Okay. So then um, I know that I had seen something a few months back about trap yoga, and they were telling me that it's like really intense or something like that. So is the heat really high when you guys do yoga, or what is that, or does it just matter or depend on what type of yoga you're doing?
Yeah, so it depends. So are you asking specifically about trap yoga or
Or just no, just
just
about like the
hot yoga?
temperature. Yeah, just the temperature in general.
Okay. So there is hot yoga.
Oh,
There's different types of hot yoga, but the one I'm thinking about right now is Bikram yoga, which is like I think it's 100 and something degrees. I tried that yoga one time and it was like too much for me.
what?
I felt like I was dying. Like I walked out the room. I was like, I can't do this. I don't like being hot at all. So yeah,
That is
it was too much for
wow.
me.
Not even.
But there's other studios who just have like they'll just turn up the heat so that you can you know, just like sweat a little bit because sometimes I'm not gonna say it doesn't work if you're like cold, but it helps to have a little bit of heat and then you're also moving and breathing.
Right.
Um that yeah. Sorry, I was looking at the comments. But you're
I know
also
because
like
that's why I laughed. That's exactly what I was like. I see the hot face.
right.
Okay, so
Um
what type of advice do you have for people that are looking to join yoga or looking to start doing yoga and incorporating it?
I think now is like the best time to start yoga because obviously you can't go to a studio or anything like that, but you can do yoga from the comfort of your own home.
Right.
You know, a lot of these studios put their membership prices down really low, which is like unheard of. Usually it's like $60 for a membership every month for unlimited yoga. Like right now, a lot of the studios are doing like $30, $40, you know, for a package or $40 a month for unlimited classes. So I think
Wow.
now is a really good time to find a studio online. Um, Literally every studio is doing online classes right now.
I like
So it's really easy to find.
I like that. And then I do want to backtrack here. So I know that you say you were looking for a studio that had more people of color. Would you say that you kind of recruited people to do more yoga? Do you know of any of your friends that have started doing yoga because of you or anything like that?
I don't think so. I tried to get my sisters to try it. They've tried it a few times, but it doesn't stick like that to them, which is fine,
Right.
But I will say yoga is for everyone. Everybody can do it. You do not have to be flexible. That's like a myth. You
Thank
don't
you
have to
for
be
that.
flexible at all. I remember one girl told me, I like invited her to a class and she's like, I can't touch my toes. I'm like, that doesn't matter. You don't have to touch your
But
toes.
thank you for that. Okay. That looks like a family member. They're rolling.
Right. Yeah, that's my sister.
Somebody's not happy about those comments.
Right.
Watching you made me try. That's nice.
Oh.
See somebody, look at that, inspiring people here. I like to see that. That's what I like to see. Okay, so I promised my followers that I would attempt to do some yoga here online before we wrap this episode up. So, Kendra, would you mind giving me like 2 poses, and I'll try some.
Oh gosh. So you want to do some sitting down poses?
We'll stand up. Let's see if you guys can see me stand. Okay, maybe we'll sit down and do a pose then. Sorry about that.
Okay, maybe we'll do a
chair.
seated twist or something.
Okay, seated twist.
Okay. So yoga means to unite, to yoke, breath and movement.
Okay.
So as you're moving, you're going to have to inhale and exhale. Okay.
So my feet are crossed and twisted. You guys can't see, but they are. I promise.
Okay, good. So go ahead and inhale and then start to bring the arms above the head. All the way up. And then as you exhale, bring the left hand to the right knee. So you can slowly start exhaling and then take your other hand behind you. So this is just a seated twist.
Okay.
And then you'll turn your head. Maybe I should have mirrored you. And then you'll turn your head towards your shoulder, your right shoulder, I think.
That way?
Wait, is that the shoulder? No, the other one. It's hard to mirror. I'm really bad at mirroring, but yeah, so you're just looking past your shoulder there.
Okay.
And then inhale the arms back up. And then you're just going to twist to the other side. You remember which hand you did?
I can't breathe and think about which arm is what. Okay, so. And then exhale.
Yes. There you go. Put that hand behind you, and then you'll look at your back hand. Look at your back shoulder.
Oh.
Other shoulder. Oh. Yes. Other one. Yes. That's a seated twist.
I want you guys to understand, I'm a pretty coordinated person, and I cannot breathe and think about what was left and right and exhale at the same time. I don't know what's wrong.
That's okay. People do that in class all the time.
See? And you guys, Kendra, you host prenatal, where you instruct prenatal. Wow. You host yoga classes on what days now?
So I do Thursdays at 7:30.
Thursdays at 7:30. You guys heard that. Kendra is tagged in our post. You guys can always follow Kendra and join in on her yoga classes. Before we go, we always have to end it with something you're grateful for, Kendra. So tell me something that you are grateful for. What in the world? I'm sorry, guys. We are having like some. Oh, I'm sorry there. My theme froze. Okay, so before we leave, we always have to get something else that you're grateful for. So what's something else that you're grateful for, Kendra?
Grateful for you having this platform and inviting me to speak. This is great.
Thank you. I'm great. You know what? I'm grateful that I got to have this conversation with you because, one, I did not know I wasn't that coordinated, and two, I really did not know how young you actually teach a kid yoga and how beneficial it really might be. Even though I did see that article, but I like that. I might do that. I really want to consider teaching my son that. So you guys are here on Let's Talk. As always, Kendra, thank you for joining us this Tuesday. I really enjoyed you. And I am definitely going to try to practice more yoga now. And I'm definitely going to come to you about it.
Yes.
So my name is Cherrell. I am the host of Let's Talk, you guys. And this is not a podcast. Or I'm sorry, this ain't a podcast. Bye, Kendra.
Bye.